everybody, before we get into this latest episode of Love and Hip Hop New York, I would like for you to subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification button so you can know when I upload my videos. So the episode opens up with Chrissy and Yandy still going back and forth at Jonathan's fragrance launch. Yandy tells Chrissy that she doesn't have a problem with her. Her biggest issue is with Kimbella because of how close they are. They're like sisters. Kimbella knows the history and friction that she has with Chrissy. So her going and telling Chrissy what Yandy said is only going to make the situation worse. Tahiri then meets up with Joe. Joe opens up about his drug addiction and how their entire relationship, he was getting high. He's been clean now for a few years. And he says that he doesn't want Tahiri to judge him on his past mistakes or the person he used to be. So the reason why they met up was because Tahiri was going to style him for Erica Mena's wedding. That whole situation is messy because wasn't it just last season that you was talking out the side of your neck to Safari about how you felt that he was being disrespectful for holding his baby because he brought Erica Mena on the trip? Okay, sir. So now you want to go to their wedding. I don't understand why Tahiri is even playing along with this. But Joe is just being Joe. Yandy has a gathering at her house and she invites all her closest friends. Rich Dollars comes to the event and he also brings Jenna Ski. Oh, I finally got her name together. Child, I tore up that girl's name for the Buddha from the Tudor. Yandy brings up her issues with Erica Mena and she talks about the timeline and why they have so many problems. Yandy says that her relationship with Safari has been affected by his current relationship with Erica. He's been distant and he's changed. Next, we see Erica and Safari. Erica explains that she has been frustrated with planning the wedding because Safari has not helped her. She's overwhelmed with creating the guest list and he hasn't confirmed everybody. Erica says to Safari that she feels as though that Yandy and his relationship is weird. Safari then says that no, your relationship with her is weird, and because there's so much friction in between you guys, it makes me uncomfortable. Erica said that she didn't want Yandy at the wedding, and Safari agreed not to invite her. Chrissy meets up with her business partner so she can get some clarity on the business relationship that he has with Yandy. Big Business and Lady Millionaires Club is under one umbrella. So whenever Greg makes business deals on real estate, it has to be also cleared with Chrissy. Greg told Chrissy that he met up with Yandy and her business partner Jamila about potentially buying real estate. He told Yandy to get back to him if she is interested in buying some real estate, and she never called him back. Yandy and her business partner Jamila meets up with the mayor of New York. Yandy and her business partner Jamila explained to the mayor that they want to buy property so they can build low-income homes for families. They also spoke about different programs that they want to offer to help these low-income families, and the mayor agreed to help them. After the meeting, Jamila has a conversation with Yandy. Jamila tells Yandy that after their meeting with Greg about buying properties for these low-income homes, Chrissy found out that he wanted to do business with her and Yandy. Chrissy was not interested in having any business dealings with Yandy. So because Chrissy is his business partner, he couldn't move forward with her and Yandy. Safari meets up with Tahiri. He asks her advice on how to get Erica and Yandy to coexist. Tahiri then tells him that he has to be the one to mend the fences. He needs to have a conversation with both women. Chrissy and Yandy meet up to have a conversation about the situation that's going on with Greg. But before we even get into that, can we talk about Chrissy's look? When I tell you that she slayed in this scene, I mean she totally slayed. Those shades are a conversation piece. Those shades are fire. Anybody that knows me knows that I love me some sickening shades. And those shades was perfect for this scene, honey, because the shade that Chrissy is about to throw, I wasn't even prepared. So they sit down and immediately Chrissy confronts Yandy on lying, saying that she actually was doing business with Greg and how she looked up in the database and could not find her name or find a check that she has ever wrote out to Big Business. Yandy then tells her, well, it's not under my name, it's under my company's name. Her company wrote out a check for a small property, so she has done business with Greg. Chrissy said, well, it's not in the database, so it can't be true. Yandy then brings up the conversation that she had with Jamila, explaining that Greg pulled out of the deal because Chrissy did not want to do any business with her. Baby, like a true boss, Chrissy was like, I sure did. Yandy was stuck because she did not expect Chrissy to flat out say, yeah, I did. And what? She expected Chrissy to be like, I didn't do that. Yandy was so dumbfounded. Yandy could only respond by saying, why did you do that? She said, yeah, I'm going to tell you why. Because the person that opened the doors for you and gave you a shot in this industry, you turned around and did him dirty. So why would I open that door and do business with you when I know what kind of person you are? Chrissy, go ahead and say it with your chest. Yandy's still stuck on stupid. Say, why would you take money away from me? Because I have kids to feed. Chrissy said, I feed adults. So Yandy says that Chrissy is mixing personal issues with business and they should remain separate. Chrissy said, I don't have to do business with you if I don't want to. Yandy gets upset and then leaves. Jeniski has her showcase. As promised, Rich Dollar shows up. He also brings a few people that's in the industry and can possibly help Jeniski in her career. Jeniski is really talented and her showcase was pretty dope. She did a good job. And if she stay focused, she could really do some big things in the music industry. We see Tahiri, Jonathan, and Juju having drinks at the showcase and talking. Tahiri then briefly brings up Erica's wedding and she was preparing for it and how Erica is trying to get her and Joe back together. Unbeknownst to Tahiri, Jonathan and Juju are really good friends with Sin. Jonathan then gets upset that he's not going to Erica's wedding. And Tahiri is like, wow, what's going on? Jonathan was like, Sin is one of my best friends and I don't appreciate what Erica is trying to do. She's being shady. And Tahiri was like, since when? How long have y'all been close? He said, well, since recently. Jonathan not only calls Tahiri a fool, he calls her a pawn in a deeper scheme. And Erica is being malicious by setting Tahiri and Joe up. Tahiri says that she doesn't believe that Erica has bad intentions on trying to get Joe and her back together. The fact that Tahiri can't see where Jonathan is coming from just strikes me as saying, hey, I'm only here for a check. Because you can't be that dumb. Unless she is. PH is also there. He's trying to show Jeniski that he's serious about her and really wants to sign her. After her performance, Jeniski comes and talks to PH. And PH is just trying to sweet talk her to get her over to signing with his company and not sign over to Rich. PH's girlfriend shows up and causes a scene. She gets upset because PH is holding Jeniski's hand. I understand that you got some trust issues. You're with him for 20 years and you don't got no ring. It was completely unprofessional because Jen helps PH run his record label and Jeniski is trying to sign to his record label. Rich Dollars then gets upset because he brought these industry people and Jeniski is acting like a fool. Erica and Safari show up to the event and Yandy walks over to speak to them. Erica and Yandy try to work out their differences. Everything was going well in the conversation until Yandy brought up the fact that Safari invited her to their wedding and she had declined because she didn't know if Erica would be comfortable with her being there. Erica gets upset with Safari. Yandy realizes that she started a firestorm and becomes extremely uncomfortable and hurry up and leaves. The way that she ran away from Safari and Erica had me on the floor. She was just like, nope, I don't want no parts. Erica and Safari start to argue and then the episode cuts. Overall, I really did enjoy this episode. There was a lot of drama happening. The highlight of this episode was Chrissy and Yandy's conversation. The way that Chrissy was so smooth with letting Yandy know that, yup, I sure did stop that business deal. I don't want to do business with you. Whew. Safari and Erica's relationship, they're both very animated people, just over the top, and of course there's a lot of drama. Those two coming together can be a little draining at times. The way that she was crying on that couch about that wedding and her veins was just coming out of her head, I said, whoa, high blood pressure is a real thing in pregnancy. You need to calm down, sis. Geneskia is talented, but she's unprofessional. So far with Love and Hip Hop New York, I have been entertained, and I hope to remain entertained for the rest of the season. Alright, you guys, thank you for watching my latest review on Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 10, Episode 4. Hopefully, I'll see you next week. Ciao!